Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to our Shabbat morning service at Temple Akiba. We're so glad that you're here to not only celebrate Shabbat, but where did Adam go? Oh, Adam, come over, sit by your family. But to celebrate with Adam as he becomes a bar mitzvah. We're also excited to be here with you and your family. I'm Rabbi Zach Shapiro here with Cantor Lonnie Freilich, and the truth is we're going to be taking a big step back this morning as Adam leads us through the service. Everyone should have received a blue Siddur, a blue prayer book on your way in. I think everyone except for Michelle and Rigo, okay? Got it. And we'll be using this as a guide through the service. Many of our prayers are in Hebrew, many are in English. We ask you to just open your hearts and souls and allow the spirit of today to really enter your hearts. We have a lot of music in the service as well.
Adam is going to be leading us through almost all of our prayers this morning, in addition to the rabbi and myself. But we love for your participation. We love for you to sing along, to engage in the music. So don't let yourself be stopped because Adam is in front. He loves support. We love to hear your voices. Even if you don't know the words, just sing la la la, but we want to hear you help sing along with us today.
We're also going to ask that you please make sure that your cell phones are turned off, or at least on silent mode. Don't assume. Take a moment and check so that we don't get interrupted during the service. And we ask that you please keep those phones away. We have a designated person as a photographer who will be capturing those pictures for us so that the rest of us can enjoy the moment. We're going to open with the singing of Hine Matov. How wonderful it is to be together as a community. We're on page 70 of our prayer books.
Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Adam, we'd like you to now come forward along with your parents, Michelle and Rigo, for the presentation of the Talit. We're on page 72.
As I wrap myself in the Talit, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Bless Adonai, O my soul. Adonai, my God, how great you are. You are robed in glory and majesty, wrapping yourself in light as in a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehitatef batzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes.
Adam, you are now officially a bar mitzvah. I mean, you're still going to read Torah and everything in a little bit. But by being here and by saying that blessing for putting on the Talit, you completed a mitzvah for the first time as a Jewish adult on this day. And that is the mark of becoming a bar mitzvah. To celebrate this time, we offer a blessing called the Shehechianu. It thanks God for giving us life and sustaining us and getting us to this moment in time. If we open to page 344, page 344, we offer this prayer together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hihianu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'hihianu lazman hazeh.
Turning back in our prayer books to page 84, Adam will be leading us in a series of blessings called Nisim B'chol Yom. These are the blessings about the miracles that exist each and every day. When Adam is finished with each of those blessings, we'll respond by singing Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Osir Yisrael b'gvura.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Oter Yisrael b'tifara.
Amen. Adam will continue the service with the chanting of the Chatzi Kaddish on page 106.
Yitgadal ve'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Ve'alma divrach chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei v'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uv'izman hariv v'imeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ul'amei amaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudisham brichu le'elan min kol bivcharta v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damira me'ama v'yimeru. Amen.
Our formal call to worship is the Baruch Hu. It's on page 108, and we invite all in ba'adi or in spirit to please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
We continue now in the Hebrew on page 110 with the Yotzer or
Baruch hu atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei chosech, oseh shalom uvarei et hakol. Hamei ir la'aretz, veladarim alecha berachamim, uvtubo mechadesh bechol yom tamid, ma'aseh v'reshit. Marabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam, bechochma asita, mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shavach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al moreh or asita, Yefaruch asela, or chadash al Sion Tair, v'niskech hulanu mehira leoro. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer hamorot.
Amen. Continuing now with the watchword of our faith, the Shema Yisrael. It's on pages 114 and 115.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem, Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated, everyone. We continue. Adam will be leading us in the V'ahavta, a prayer about God's love. We're on page 116.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shiftecha b'veitecha v'techa v'derech Uvshofbecha uvkumeha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vechayu latotafot beineineha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvishareha, leman tishkeru vahasitem et kol mitzvotai, yitem kedoshim lelohehem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lihiot lahem l'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
Our next prayer is the Michamocha, and Cantor and I approached Adam and his family about which melody they wanted to use, and I think it was Michelle and Alana who made an executive decision that they wanted to do Miriam's song, and that just made us smile. So we're going to invite the 8th graders to lead us, as well as anyone else who would like to come forward and grab a tambourine. We're going to fill this sanctuary with song and with movement, dancing around the sanctuary in a counterclockwise direction. In our prayer books, we're on page 344, page 344 in our prayer books.
Oh, should I go with them? Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels. Follow Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one more sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched the spirit,
She dances toward the light. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
As Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she still cared to believe.
Whoever thought that she would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
the prophet took her timbrel in her hand,
And all the women followed her, just as she had planned.
And Miriam raised her voice and song, she sang with praise and might.
We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels.
Follow
Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women dance and dance the whole night long. Mi kamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedai b'kodesh. Norati lo dosei pele, norati lo dosei pele. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one who we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
Thank you all. You guys can leave them on the benches, that's fine. Yeah, leave them on the benches. Thank you so much. We're going to continue now with the Amidah. This is a prayer that begins on page 124. We invite the community to rise once again.
Adonai, Shefatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagite Latecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konecha Ho, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imachot, U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'achava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye Hakol atah, Rav Lechoshia, Mechakei Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Ve'rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishnei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umidol Melach, Melech Meimit, Umechaye, Umatmia Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata Lehahayot Hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye Hakol. Nekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto bishmei marom, Kakatuv ya neviecha, V'kara ze el ze ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Sevaot, Meloch ha'aretz, Kevodo. Adir Adonenu, Adonai, Adonenu ma'adir shimcha b'chol ha'aretz. Baruch Kevod Adonai, Minkomo Avinu hu malkeinu, hu moshienu vehu yashmienu, berachamav le'enei kol chai.
Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai le'olam,
Elohai Yitzion, ledor vador, hallelujah. Ledor vador nagid golecha, u'netzach netzachim kedushat hanakdish, v'shichacha Eloheinu mipino lo yamush,
Le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We're going to continue, friends, with our own private prayers. We can use our Sidurim as a guide, or else just take an opportunity to look inside and reflect on what's going on inside of your own hearts. And when you're finished with your own private prayers, you may be seated. Eighth grade. Come on up. Adam? Come on up. Sloan, Ben, Alana, come on up as well. How you doing?
I don't know.
Remember what I shared with you a little while ago, that even Cantor and I get a little bit nervous every time we do a service, just a little bit. But you are leading us so far, Adam, with such poise and goodness and light. And what you're about to do is take the ancient words of Torah and show us how we can be informed as a community in modern times, even when reading texts that seem so old and even oftentimes outdated. So you're going to take your own wisdom and you are going to weave it with the words of our text. In order for that to happen, we need to bring the Torah from the Ark, and we've practiced this a long time, but Noah and Sammy, we want you to come forward to help us out. We're going to all turn to page 244, and we invite the congregation to rise once again for Seder Kriyat Torah, for the service for the reading of Torah.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai, ve'en kemasecha, malchutecha, malchut kol olamim, u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam v'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, av harachamim, heitiv avertzoncha et Zion, tivnei chomo Yerushalayim, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, kivecha levad batachnu, melech el-ram v'nisa, Adon olamim.
Noah, Sammy, thank you so much. You can go back to your seats now.
Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, ki mitzion teitzei Torah, udevar Adonai miYerushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kdushato.
We're now going to invite forward your parents, Michelle and Rigo, and your sister Alana to come forward for our ritual of handing the Torah down. L'dor v'dor, generation to generation, our Torah has come down through the ages, beginning with a conversation between Moses and God at Mount Sinai. Adam, today, stand right between your mom and sister. Today, this conversation is coming through your parents and into your arms. Almost exactly 4 years ago, Alana, you stood here to become a bat mitzvah. And Adam, you are the little brother to the other side of her. Now you've switched roles, you've switched places. And today you're receiving this wisdom only to add to it. L'dor v'dor, from generation to generation.
L'dor vador, l'dor vador, l'dor vador, nagid God lecha, ulenetzach netzachim, ulenetzach netzachim, kedushacha nakdish.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu le'Adonai tiu neromema shemo yachdav.
Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Torah li, Torah li, Torah sheli. Torah li, Torah li, Torah sheli. Torah, Torah sheli. Torah, Torah sheli. Dance with the Torah and sing out a song. Dance with the Torah and sing all day long. Torah, Torah sheli. Torah, Torah sheli. Friends, in the seats in front of you, unless you're in the front row, is a larger chumash. If you're in the front row, just reach behind you and you can share. There's probably enough for every 2 or 3 people there. And you can put your sitarim back. Please refrain from placing them on the floor if you can. Put the sitarim to the side or in those chairs. And if we open up to page 1322, page 1322, we can follow along with our Torah reading. I'm going to be calling forward a number of people to offer an Aliyah, a blessing, before and after the Torah portion. Keep in mind that if you'd like to use a ramp, we have a ramp. There's a handrail by the cantor, or you can come directly up the steps. When you offer your blessings, you'll be standing to my left. For our first Aliyah, it's an honor to call forward Kathy Osteler and Elizabeth Bluestein, Ya'amdu Zakiya Yochana bat Yaakov Avshalom, ve'Edia Sarah bat Hirsch Gedalia ve'Leah Malka. It's so good to see you. Shabbat Shalom. Come close.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Ki tetzeh lam yilchama al oivecha, untano Adonai Elohecha beyadecha veshavita shivyo.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Yeshua Koach, you're going to stand by the cantor over here. For our second Aliyah, we invite forward Yvette Jaffe and Paul Jaffe. Ya'amdu Etel Bat Zev ve'etafega ve'nadov ben Naftali u'Miriam. Shabbat shalom.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvarah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch atah Hamvarah le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
V'ra'ita b'shivya eshet yefat toar v'hashakta ba tach v'lakachta lecha le'isha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'hayei olam natan b'tachenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. For our third Aliyah, we invite forward Rhonda Stark and Harriet Stark. Ta'amdu Rivka bat Henya ve'Eliyahu ve'Henya bat Chaim ve'Elisheva. Hello, Shabbat Shalom.
Should we say that? Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar mikol hamim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
V'haveta el toch beitecha v'gilacha et rosha v'asta et siporneha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chai olam natan b'teshenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Also, so beautiful. You're going to come stand by the cantor. Adam, hold it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For our fourth Aliyah, we invite forward Barbara Meyerson and Marvin Meyerson. Ya'amdu Bosha Rezel bat Yitzchak v'Dvoshe v'Melach Dovede ben Simcha v'Dine. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you. I haven't spoken this in a long time.
Okay, we're all here together.
Okay.
I don't read Hebrew, he does.
Baruch El Adonai Hamvarah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarah. Olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Elohein melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torado. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
V'hesira et simlat shivya me'alecha v'yashva b'veitecha ubachta et aviha ve'et ima v'erach yamim v'achar ken tavo elecha uve'alta v'chayita yecha le'isha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayel olam nata bitochinu. Baruch atah Adonai notien haTorah.
Amen. Thank you so much, Yasher Koach. I'm gonna come right over here. Thank you so much. For our next Aliyah, we invite forward Ilana, and joining us via live stream is cousin Amy. Amy, we're sorry you can't be here in person. Ya'amdu ahuva pesha bat Yitzchak udavosha. So that was for Amy, and Ilana Hadassah bat Michal.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'chaya im lo chafatzta ba v'shilacha lenafsha hor lo timkerena ba'kasef lo titamer ba tachat asher inita.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. V'chaye olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. For our sixth Aliyah, we invite forward your parents, Michelle and Rigo, Ta'amod Michal.
This is also in honor of our other cousin who couldn't be here, Elizabeth, who just gave birth to our littlest cousin, Dahlia.
Mazel tov.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach lilam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Ki tihayena leish shete nashim ha'achat ahuva v'ha'achat sanua v'yaldu lo vanim ha'achuva v'hasnua v'chaya ha'bein ha'bechor lasnia.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher natan lanu Torat emet. V'chaye olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Ilana, come back up, actually. Stand with your parents. Ya'amod, 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 Habachor, Habar Mitzvah, Avram, Gavriel, Ben, Michal. We now invite Adam for his Aliyah.
Baruch hu et Adonai hamivorach.
Baruch Adonai Hambarach leolam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
V'chaya im lo beyom hanhilo et banav. Et asher yihyeh lo yuchal levaker et bencha ahuva al pnei ben hasnua habchor. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Wow. Adam, that was so beautifully chanted. We're going to show you all the section that Adam chanted from. If you all please rise as we lift the Torah.
Take a step back. זאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל, על פי אדוני ביד משה. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
We continue still in the larger Chumash with the section from the prophets, the Haftarah. It can be found on page 1345, page 1345. We are going to be chanting from the prophet Isaiah on this Shabbat. And Adam will begin with a blessing which is not in the larger Chumash, but then he'll continue with the words in the text.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratzah v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai Habocher Batorah, Uv Moshe Avdo, Uv Yisrael Amo, Uvin Vie Ha'emet Vatzedek. Roni Akara Loch Yalada, Pitchi Rina, V'tzachali Lochala. Hirabim b'nei shomema mibnei ve'ula amar Adonai harchivi mekom acholei v'riot mishkenotaich yatu al tachsohi ha'arichi meitaraich V'tedotai chazeki ki yamin usmo tifrotzi v'zarech goyim yirash ve'arim neshamot yoshivu al tiri'i kilo tevoshi ve'al tikalmi kilo Tachpir ki voshet alumai tishkachi veherpat almenutai lo tishkeri od.
As Adam offers the blessing after Haftarah, we have some candies that will be handed out. Candies are not to be eaten in the sanctuary. They're actually to be tossed gently onto the bima when he's finished with the blessing after. And then we'll invite all who are young at heart to come and pick them up. Once again, after you pick them up, stuff them deep into your pocket because we don't want to hear the crinkling sound. We don't have eating in the sanctuary. But it's a symbol of our joy and the levity of what we're experiencing today. You all set?
Yeah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol haolamim tzadik bechol hadorot ha'el hane'eman ha'omer ve'osech ha'medaber u'mekayem shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al haneve'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdushach ve'limnuha lechavod uletifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachni modim la umvarchim otach yitbarach shimcha befi chol chai tamid leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai v'kadesh Hashem.
All right, folks, come and pick it up. Well,
There's still more.
There's one under there.
Anthony, here you go. Do you want another one?
Have a seat.
Let's try battle.
Daniel.
My God.
Everyone, let's take a deep breath. If you place your chumash back into the seat in front of you and take your smaller siddur, your prayer book out, and if you open to page 253, page 253, right in the middle, the center is our prayer for healing. I'm hearing a lot of crinkling. Thank you. Right in the center is our prayer for healing. And we insert this prayer exactly at this point in the service. We've just experienced so much joy. And we need to remember that even while we're feeling that, there are those in this space who are in need of healing. And there are those outside of this space who need our prayers. And so as we offer this very special prayer, please think about those people who could use an extra embrace of wholeness. And when we get to the center, as my eyes meet yours, if you're comfortable, say those names out loud so that we can truly as a community pray for them together.
Let us say, Amen. Bless
As we prepare to place the Torah back into the ark, we invite Alana and Adam to come forward to open the ark. We're on page 256. We invite the congregation to rise once again. Ki lekach tov natati lahem torati al ta'azovu. For I have given you good instruction. Do not abandon my Torah.
It is a tree of life to
Them that hold fast to it and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom, it is a tree.
Shalom, shalom, it's not a book. Shalom, shalom,
The tree of life.
shalom, shalom.
Eis chaim hi lemachaziki mavetonecha me'ushar. Eis chaim hi lemachaziki mavetonecha me'ushar. Shalom, 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 shalom,
shalom, shalom.
Please be seated, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom and welcome to my bar mitzvah, everyone. I'd especially like to thank those who came from far away. Being a bar mitzvah to me is having more responsibilities and also taking responsibility for your actions. It's taking your first steps into being a man. My Torah portion is Kitei Say from the book of Deuteronomy, the fifth and final book of the Torah. So far, the Israelites have been wandering for 40 years in the desert, and they are learning about laws they will need as people. One part of the Torah that bothered me was how if a son disobeyed their parents, they would be stoned to death in public. This part disturbs me because I realize that if I lived in this time, I would be stoned if I disobeyed my parents too. This also bothered the rabbis when this law still existed, because no son should be stoned to death. The only way for the son to get killed was if 70 rabbis unanimously agreed that the son was guilty, which is nearly impossible. This really bothered me, so I asked Rabbi Shapiro questions about it and why it was a thing. He answered all of my questions, even the ones that called the Torah into question. Even 2,000 years ago, rabbis asked questions. We are expected to ask questions about everything. We don't have to obey every rule in the Torah, and if they are unfair, they change. To me, Judaism isn't religion. It doesn't influence our every move and our life, but at the end of the day, you should be proud to say that you are Jewish. I feel proud to be Jewish because, like I said before, we ask questions and we are not punished. I'd also like to thank Cantor Lonnie, Cantor Liz, Randy Bischoff, Rabbi Shapiro, my parents, and my sister. I'd like to thank the Sisterhood for my Kiddush cup and candlesticks, and the men's group for my Tanakh. Once again, thank you everybody for joining me on this special day.
Hello, can you hear me? Adam, I'd like to go back to the very beginning. In utero, you were quite active, you were kicking around, you were just, I guess, testing boundaries is what we would call it. And I asked the obstetrician, is this indicative in any way of the personality once he's born? And he said, oh yes. And it's true, you were an active and energetic kid. But there's a lot of things the ultrasound can't predict, as advanced as it is. There's a lot of things about your character that I have learned over the almost 13 years that I've known you. There's your kindness and your empathy. Your sense of humor, which I can't explain because I'm going to ruin it, but my two favorite are your impression of the kitten who finds out he's an only child, and your Gordon Ramsay impression, which is PG-13, but it's awesome. You have a really unique perspective, and an example that stayed with me since kindergarten is, in kindergarten you were reading the book No David, and it's about the boy who does perhaps reckless things, and in one of the pages he was teetering on a chair trying to reach a cookie jar, and your teacher asked, why is this not a good idea? And you raised your hand and said, because he might get diabetes. Which is possibly a Jewish perspective. But it was creative and unique and thoughtful. You have an analytical mind, and I didn't know how much of your speech was going to be about rules and questioning, but you do follow the rules, but you do question them. At bedtime, we wanted to move your bedtime a little earlier, and you said, I didn't agree to that. And so we had to discuss, the parties made their best arguments, and we didn't change the bedtime, but we did analyze it and discuss it and really vet it. So that was typical of you. Another thing that has stayed with me is when you and Alana debated whether corporations are inherently evil. You know what we talk about at our house. Or whether some can be good, and you both took your sides, but spoiler, they're all sociopaths. So whether you realize it or not, and I think from this morning's speech that you do realize it, that questioning and debating are part of our Jewish tradition. And if we aren't happy with the way things are, or we don't question why they are the way they are, then we can't change them. As you grow up very, very fast, my hopes for you are in a different direction from change. I hope you stay exactly who you are. I hope you hold on to your empathy and never lose your sense of humor and always question the rules. Navigating the world as a teenager and as a young adult is really hard and complicated, but I know you have all the tools to deal with whatever comes at you, and I'm so proud of you, and I love you.
I don't know how much more to say, except Adam, there's so many things I'm so proud about you. I could go on for 10 hours. I'll cut it down to 1 hour, okay? Really, I learn from you every day. The things you do teach me to see things through your eyes. And the one thing that stays with me always is your empathy. How, as one of the Jewish tenets, to leave this world a better place, you're always showing me how that's done. I think you were 6 months old because you started speaking at a very early age to argue. On our way to kindergarten, you told me from the back of the car that you had figured out what you wanted to do when you grew up. And if you remember, I asked you what it was. And you said that you wanted to go all over the world and clean up all the trash. And I said that's a really great thing to do. And you said you wanted to start with the oceans. And very practical, you said that I could join you. That was if I was still alive. That's what you said. So I thought that was very kind of you. And every day, the things you do. I mean, the other day, I remember we were at the gas station, and you wanted some chips very badly. I had to give you my credit card to go in and get a bag. And when you came out, there was a gentleman outside that was down on his luck, and you wanted to give him your bag of chips. That, again, taught me the goodness of you and how you think about others. Every time we take our long walks, you tell me about your friends. You tell me about things that are bothering them, and you think and try to figure out how to help them. how you can make the day a little easier. That again reminds me what I should do every day. I want to say that in addition to that, as you find your place in the world, you have to think about yourself as well. Think about the things that you do, what they mean to you, and how you can get joy out of them every day. Life sometimes can be a little harsh, but always look for the positive side of things. I love you so much. I'm so proud, and I thank you for all that you do to make my life better.
Love you.
Thank you both so much. Adam, the cantor, and Randy and I all have trash cans that need emptying. So if you want to start to clean up, we've got some projects for you. What an honor it is to be here with you. You chanted beautifully, you led the prayers with dignity, and as I said a little earlier, you brought so much light into this space. It's been a pleasure not only working with you to this point, but knowing you since you were 7 or 8 years old, and then watching as your light has grown to this moment. Adam, you asked some brilliant questions along the way, but you also shared with me something that I thought was quite interesting. You talked about your science teacher and how you enjoyed learning how words kind of are decomposed and fit together. And seeing how you're someone who is interested in words, I chose 5 words from your Torah portion, which really speak to who you are. And I wanted to do this particularly with your Torah portion, because there was a lot in there, as you shared with us, that's kind of problematic. And sometimes you have to decompose a Torah portion and find little bits and pieces that can help offer a new perspective. So here are the 5 words that are in your portion that are specifically for who you are. The first is the word emet, which means truth. And sometimes finding truth takes digging and investigating and looking again and asking questions, which is exactly what you do. So emet, truth, it begins with the letter aleph. That is a beautiful word in your portion. There's the word ven, which means in between. And sometimes in life we find ourselves between 2 different realities, between childhood and adulthood, which is where you are, between Shabbat and the rest of the week, between schools, between jobs, between decisions we have to make, between the desert and Israel, or between Egypt and Israel. All of life is found in these moments of in-between. And it's an important place to discover that you're there so that you can ground yourself in order to move forward. That word ven begins with the letter vet. Another important word in your portion is reyehu, which has to do with a friend. In your life, it's important not to have a million friends, but to find those individuals who you can confide in and be close to. But more important, you want to make yourself into that person that everyone can trust. You'll find in your life that you shouldn't trust everyone, but you should be the kind of friend that everyone can trust. And so re'ehu, which begins with the resh, is that important part of your portion. Another word is the word hadavar, which means the word. You're going to go through life and you're going to find little bits of words or wisdom, really, that can ground you and make sense to you. Hold on to those words that make sense. Hold on to those words that will help you find how to make the world a little bit better. That hadavar begins with the letter he. Finally is the word matsati, which means I have found. Once you've discovered all these things, truth, that area of betweenness, friendship, and that word, that wisdom. Stand your ground. Realize, take stock of what you have found, what is real to you and what's important. Because when you take a moment to think about what you have found and be happy with what you have, then you'll become the richest person in the world. Matzati begins with the letter Mem. So here are 5 words. Emet with an aleph, ven with a vet, re'ehu with a resh, hadavar with a hey, and matzati with a mem. You put all those together, we're going to compose now all the stuff that we've decomposed. It spells the word Avraham. That's your name in Hebrew. That's who you are. So in that Torah portion, Adam is you. You are there. You're found in between the words. And like you found with your study of the portion, even when there's problems inside, you'll find your voice within. You'll ask those questions, and you will move mountains. Adam, we are so proud of you. We are so proud of you. And what an honor it is to share this moment. Cantor has something to share with you as well, and I'm going to give you a hug.
Thank you.
Adam, you did such an incredible job today. When I think about you and this entire process, the word that comes to my mind is consistency. Every week when we would meet together, and I would say, so how's this process going? How's your Torah portion? How's your Haftorah? It's good. It's good. I don't think there was ever a time that you said, oh, I didn't study, or oh, it's not going so well. Every single week you studied, you kept moving forward, and it really showed in what you did today. Thank you for leading us in such a beautiful service, for allowing the rabbi and I to actually take a step back and to be congregants for most of this service, because you were such a true leader today. I loved our sessions. I found myself going through about, halfway of our session before we actually got to our work, because we would just talk and talk and talk. So thank you for giving me that gift, for allowing me to get to know you a little bit better, and thank you for everything that you did for all of us today. We are so proud of you. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
We're going to call forward Adam's classmates from Temple Akiba for our special ritual that we have. Adam, it's your turn to stand here. Just don't knock the guitar over. All right.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha.
May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom, shalom.
May God's light always shine through you, Adam, and grant you the most precious gift, the gift of shalom, of peace. Amen.
Amen.
Right, folks, group hugs.
Guys.
You guys are so sweet. All right, have a seat, have a seat, have a seat. You stay here. All right, what an honor it is now to call forward, representing our congregation, Jenna Sonnenschein. Jenna is our board trustee in charge of membership. Jenna, it's so good to see you. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom. Congratulations, Mazel tov, and Shabbat shalom, everybody. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I want to welcome everybody to Temple Akiba. For those of you who this might be your first time here, or those of you who traveled a long way to get here to be with Adam and his family today, extra special welcome, and we're happy to see you. Adam, you did a phenomenal job today. This takes a lot of preparation, a lot of hard work, and you did an incredible job leading everybody here, so mazel tov. I have a couple things for you on behalf of the temple. We have here your certificate of bar mitzvah signed by the rabbi and the cantor. Put this in a very safe place. And also for you is a certificate saying that the temple has planted a tree in Israel in your honor. So this is for you as well. So mazel tov to you, mazel tov to your family, and Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Thank you so much, Jenna. We've got one more ritual here. And that's the signing of our Lador Vador scroll. This is a piece of artwork that we commissioned that was designed by Mordechai Rosenstein. It says in Hebrew, Oredu Me'ir Tov Yoter Yachad, which is our temple motto, our light shines brighter together. And there's beautiful designs on the perimeters of this, but it's blank in the middle. And every person who becomes a bar or bat mitzvah here at Temple Akiba has the opportunity to sign it. And I'm just looking quickly for September 1, 2018. Hold on. There it is. There's Alana. All right. So you are going to be right here underneath Yuval's name. Yuval was our last bar mitzvah here at, there he is, here at Temple Akiba. What date is today? Today is the 10th, 9/10. Everyone say Mazel Tov once again. All right, friends, we come to our concluding prayers, and if we open to page 282, about halfway down the page, and we invite the congregation to rise once again.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, la'teit tigla le'otzer breshit, shelo asanu kagei ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Yeh Adonai Echad, Ushemo Echad.
As we prepare for the mourner's Kaddish, our prayer of memory, we'd like everyone to take a moment to just close your eyes and to think about the voices of those who have died, who at one point sat to your right or sat to your left, people who informed your life with goodness and whose souls continue to kindle your hearts in some way every day. Their memories are here with us all. And as I offer this reading before the Kaddish, please allow those memories to be counted as one of those stars that you see. I'm on page 291. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light, long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Our Mourner's Kaddish is on page 294, page 294, and we read together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'amad divrach chorotei v'yamlich malchotei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'galau v'yizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam oamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei t'kodashah b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran v'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say,
Amen.
Amen. We're going to ask you to remain standing and for your family, Alana and Rigo and Michelle, to come forward for our closing.
We're going to be closing with the singing of Oseh Shalom. So we need your hands because there's a lot of hand clapping in this song. We encourage you to put your books down, but remain standing. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh Shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Everyone, we turn to one another and we say Shabbat Shalom. And we turn to Adam and we say Mazel Tov! We're going to join together across the way. We ask that you take your Sederim and help our 8th graders by placing them on the shelf on the way out. And we will like you to join for, I think there's a luncheon across the way. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.